volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
On the record when the drum beats go like this.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
with the bass. Pajamas live in effect, and I don't waste time. On the mic with a dope rhyme. Jump to the rhythm, jump, jump to the rhythm, jump. And I'm here to combine beats and lyrics to make you shake your pants, take a chance. Come on and dance, guys. Grab a girl, don't wait, make a twirl. It's your world and I'm just a squirrel. Trying to get a nut to move your butt to the dance floor. So yo, what's up? Hands in the air. Come on, say yeah. Everybody over here, everybody over there. The crowd is live and I will fool this fool. Party people in the house, move.
Let's give them a round of applause. Our 1991 Girls Basket State Champion.
Take the breath and go for yours on my command. Now hit the dance floor. Gonna make you sweat to your bleed. Is that dope enough? Indeed, pay the price to control the dice. I'm more precise. To the point, I'm nice. The music takes control. Your heart and your soul unfold. Your body is free and behold. Dance so you can't dance, so you can't dance no more. Get on the floor and get raw. Dip, come back then upside down. Easy now. Let me see you move.
membership card to get inside. Sign says everybody welcome. Come in and kneel down and pray. But then they pass around a plane at the end of it all, and I didn't have a penny to pay. So I got me a pen and a paper, and I made up my own fucking sign. I said, thank you, love, for thinking about me. I'm alive and doing fine. Oh, sign, sign, everywhere, sign. Fucking up the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign? Sign, signs everywhere, sign. Fucking up the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign?
The homeless problem. Good looks and
Die violent.
Tiananmen Square today.
Up to the adults to teach the children.
Period. A pain reliever. The bullets. Tempting investment.
Violent crimes are on the uprise.
So frustrating.
Johnny traded in his Datsun 200 SX for a Cadillac. A Cadillac hearse, that is. When you drink and drive, the least you'll lose is your license. The most you might lose is your life. Think about it. Don't drink and drive.
At Fort Vancouver High, students have their own TV station and are covering the war as it unfolds. Here's Walden Kirsch.
4 over 1. Go ahead and get your super up. Yeah, get on your audio. Stand by. Camera 2, get me 1 shot. 15 seconds, ready to roll and record, roll and record.
It's about as realistic as you can get. The TV newscast that students are putting on the school's cable channel has all the franticness and rush of the real thing. Today, passing along CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, whichever network is covering the war best at the moment.
This is the breaking wave. We're getting it as it's coming, so we're putting it up, and hopefully we got some students watching it.
Out in the parking lot, a small, somewhat of a protest broke out, but was quickly subdued by administrators.
This morning's fair-haired, long-haired news anchor, Steve Pierce. He anchored the school's war coverage yesterday for 6 hours.
It was stressful. It was a long day yesterday, but we made it through it all right, and just keeping the school informed. That's our job.
Meanwhile, for local reaction to the Gulf crisis, Ryan Thier and Garen Sigler are roaming the school.
And I don't think that demonstrating in school gets much of a message across about anything. It's just, I think it's a poor excuse for students to try and get out of class.
Have you heard about the second attack on Israel?
No, I only heard about the first one.
They just attacked them for the second time.
Really? What did they do?
We have some phone numbers here for you at this time.
I'd say it's students doing education at its finest. I'd say it's hands-on, it's active. This is something they came up with their idea, and just give the ball and they ran with it.
So far, it's not clear what KFE's war coverage ratings are. Over lunchtime, at least a few students tuned in, but back in the studio, it doesn't really matter.
This one doesn't work.
Jeez.
Steve Pierce is struggling with a broken earpiece. In the booth, they're trying to patch in CNN. And too many people, altogether too many people, are trying to talk to that one guy on set.
And I know how Pete Schulberg feels.
Or Larry or Mary. I'm Walden Kirsch, News 8.
I don't have a story to read.
He's in trouble.
I do have a script right here, Steve.
Lucky
That's too bad. He'll be sitting here before long, probably.
I bet, no kidding.
Well, that's First at 4 for this Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Larry Shue.
And I'm Mary McDermott, filling in for Kathy Smith, who is in London tonight. Be sure and join News 8 at 5 for a live report from Kathy in London.
Now, that report continues with Pete Schulberg and Tracy Berry.
Larry, that gentleman did a real good job, too, I'll tell you.
we saw last week in Pennsauken, New Jersey, the Gulf War is changing life at high schools across America. Hicks found that to be especially true at one school in the Pacific Northwest, where events in the Gulf are a prime focus for students and their cameras.
Listen to what they say. It's been called the most watched television event in history. January 16, 1991, the day the Persian Gulf War began. Like their parents, teenagers across America have spent hours and hours each day watching network correspondents report on the war.
Do you think that the United States should start a ground war?
But at Fort Vancouver High School in Vancouver, Washington, some students produced their own war coverage for their school.
Very fade black, very fade out audio. Open mic, take 1 cue.
Today I'm Gretchen Gardner.
Before the war started, the students of the Advanced Media Tech class produced a news program every 2 weeks. Now they put together a weekly show, which features many war-related stories, including a recent war rally in nearby Portland, Oregon.
We're here at Pioneer Courthouse Square for the peaceful demonstration of the action in Kuwait.
What sort of impact has the Persian Gulf War had on your show?
It's really made it hard, but I think that having the extra pressure actually helps the people to get things done. I think the people that are around the school are very well informed about what's going on.
And considering what Iraq was trying to do, they were trying to expand their national boundaries.
We try and gear it to the students, and it makes it easy for us because we're students and we can say, yeah, that looks like it'll be an interesting story.
And here are the sweatshirts.
I like to watch the news just to see what's going on, and I think that the people in general respond well to it as an educational tool.
I think they do a really good job with it, with the information that they have. The more informed you are, and the more educated you are, the more it's easier to get a perspective on what's going on.
So, have a nice day, boys and girls.
Students today may be a part of the television generation, but they're also media savvy. For many, the Gulf War has become a living lesson, and they've become the educators. From Vancouver, Washington, I'm Hicks Neal for Channel 1.
Hey, we're here with Robbie Shinaki. Robbie, do you believe that President Bush should be sending troops to the Persian Gulf?
Yes.
Okay, why is that?
Well, I think that we get a lot of our oil from over there, and we are protecting our oil, and if we don't protect our oil, the prices will go up around here for the oil.
Okay. Do you think the U.S. should attack if Saddam Hussein doesn't pull out of Kuwait?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Why is that?
I think we should wait a while because he might actually pull out if he does realize that we might go into war.
Yeah, I do.
Why is that?
Well, because I think it's time that the U.S. makes a stand. And
yeah, because he's defending a little country that had no protection against it, so he's taking care of it.
Okay. Do you believe the U.S. should attack if Saddam Hussein doesn't pull out of Kuwait?
Well, I wouldn't blame any guy for pulling out, so I don't think we should.
Sure, I do.
Okay, why is that?
Because I think we need to send more troops so that we can prepare for a war, since the economic sanctions that they're putting on Iraq aren't really doing anything. It's just giving them more time to, I don't know, say deviate a plan. Plus, the sanctions aren't really hurting Iraq's army. It's hurting more of just the people there. So that's going to keep him still going. I mean, I think we should send more troops there and go to war.
Okay. Do you think the U.S. should attack if Saddam Hussein doesn't pull out of Kuwait?
Sure. I think they should attack. It's just giving them more time to think and get a good plan for his side. And we've been in there too long anyway. We set a deadline. We have to live up to that deadline.
Well, it appears as though students express many different opinions on the crisis in the Gulf. As for what happens next, nobody can tell. Reporting for KFE Channel 3 News, I'm Steve Pierce.
The darling baby. Yep. Notice how he gravitated right to this room? I know. Are you sure? What? Well, she's back. She wants us to take turns without fighting. We'll just have to join up. Unless one of us wants something and the other one doesn't have to. Do you think this will contribute a whole house?
Annie! Did I find the seed in my orange juice yesterday morning?
I heard it, sir.
I'm sure you did, Annie. Nonetheless, I think I may have detected a small seed.
I'll send it twice, sir.
Seeds can wreak havoc with the digestion, Annie.
Yes, sir.
They can take root and grow.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, good morning, Mrs. B. Charlie and I. You certainly may, Mrs. Kings. I'd be delighted to have the pleasure of your company, provided I said, provided that you both sit quietly without being back in your chairs and don't try to argue.
Good morning. Oh, good morning. Tell Irma I'll have 2 coach days this morning, please. Oh, yes,
They said my voice just goes down right when you're talking. And that I'm only good for song. Ha! Whatever that means. They said I need to take diction and grammar lessons. And I can't stand them. So I said to my boss, what do you mean you won't get me no contract? What do you mean, you bum? My voice is as smooth as plastic. As the jump from which I am named. So they ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to judge for yourselves. Is I espouse what's his? Oh yeah, Shakespeare. I personally Romeo and Juliet, the balcony speak. Please excuse me while I get into character. Okay. Romeo! Wherefore art thou, Romeo? Here, come! I can certainly tell you this. They cannot
think of the band?
What do I think about the band? Awesome. Chill. Awesome. Good.
Here's for FV.
Yeah. All right.
And during the few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
These flyers, they call it the Memorial Day Super Cruise here on Highway 99. And in fact, this cruising even made the front page of the Columbian newspaper today.
We are in a race between education and catastrophe.
The knowledge.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow travelers. We'd like to welcome you to Fort Vancouver's 1991 annual talent show. My name is Gino Matilla, and tonight, my beautiful co-host, Amy Walton, and I will parade you through 21 acts of hard work and dedication, which has led you tonight to tonight's grand performances.
I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and smoke my last cigarette. I know it's gonna be a bad day. My hair hurts.
Everything you do to me is gonna feel so right. Baby, when you're loving me, I feel like I could cry.
Let's go see how the place.
Daddy, stop.
Stop what?
Avoiding me ever since I arrived. I haven't been able to talk.
Seems to me everybody's been talking continuously and simultaneously from the moment you got off the plane.
Alone, Daddy. I mean alone. No, I mean alone.
All right.
I into painful labor, both by sea and land, to watch the night in storms, day and cold, whilst thou liest warm at home, secure and safe. Dear I'm writing this letter to try and tell myself it's time for me to feel better. Dear me, how could I turn away?
Class of 1991.
Well, just hold right there. We'll get him just. You got anything to say, Brad?
No.
Libby?
Nice to hammer.
All right, got a man up there.
such a simple thing. Every drop a different stop, but they all come from the same. God is a love, heavy on the rain. That's why I sometimes feel that somehow we are the same. Heaven running my head to sleep. There's a song that's haunting in my mind. Gonna be a part of me. I can feel that. In my heart, in my soul. Gonna be a part of me. The world must be calling me. And my world comes from within. And I has no guarantee that you keep what you have, even though you're left with less. There's the one I'm feeling, some fear for the world, with all the greed and misery. How much real time is there? The sooner I take my responsibility, I will truly say I am grateful for my world. I'm trying to do the right thing. It's whatever you do, someone will do, someone is strong. No one else is telling me, and you say, gonna be a part of me. I can feel that. Gonna be a part of me. In my heart, in my soul. Gonna be a part of me. Come with me from the depths of my soul. Making you part of me, everything changes with me. It's a shame that love and respect has been replaced by money and power. The children, they are our future. So teach them how to love themselves, and they will love others. Don't you see? Love. That's the key. Gonna be a part of me. In my heart, in my soul. Gonna be a part of me. The world must be calling me. Gonna be a part of me. And my world comes from within. Gonna be a part of me. Oh, I can feel that. Gonna be a part of me.
I don't know if you can see this. Does this ring a bell to any of you? Who in the hell is Trixie and Dixie? I know something you don't. I've had people come in crying because they've been accused of it. I've had people say, I am. I've had teachers accuse me of it, and I'm not a Trixie and I'm not a Dixie. But I wish to recognize the two people that are Trixie and Dixie. They gave you something that I was really pleased at, and that is that they took time out of their lives to notice you as an individual. And it was more than just a pat on the back. It took time, it took energy, it took thought. And I want to tell you that every single one of you, to our knowledge, to their knowledge, received one of those Trixie and Dixie Awards. So from me, from the class, will Trixie and Dixie please come forward? Angie Spence and Lisa Potts. On behalf of the class of 1991 and myself, I wish to thank you for all that you did. And thank you.
Especially to those
graduation has filled the air. The dominant topics of conversation among seniors has consisted of plans of college, work, armed forces, and travel after high school. The idea of getting out into the real world to experience new things and meet new people is exciting and refreshing. But as we get ready to tackle these new adventures, we should never forget the events of our high school career. Through our high school years, a lot has happened to us, and many changes have taken place in our lives. For some, it was in high school that we had our first boyfriend or girlfriend. It was a time when we first learned to drive, maybe had our first car, along with that, maybe had our first wreck. For some, it was our first job. It was a time when we gained new friends and sometimes lost friends. It was a chance to not only take advantage of the classes offered, but to push ourselves in sports, be involved in clubs, run for offices, and perform in school plays and concerts. After we graduate, we may all go our separate ways and lead exciting lives. But we will always remember that it was in high school that all these first events happened to us. In this way, we are all bonded no matter what may happen after graduation. I feel fortunate that I was able to attend Fort Vancouver for my 4 years of high school. This institution has provided us the chance to excel and better ourselves by getting involved with many activities. A school can only be as good as the teachers, administrators, and staff make it. And I think we should all be grateful for their dedication these people have to the students and the school. I've worked with almost every single staff member at this school, and never in my life have I seen such sincerity and genuine concern that these people have. The extra time that they put in helping us with schoolwork, coaching sports, advising clubs and organizations, and just being there for us when we need them deserves our thanks. I just want you all to know how much the class of 1991 appreciates you. And we all thank you for everything you have done for us these last 4 years. I think each and every one of us graduating can think of several teachers, administrators, and staff members that have made an impact on our life and have instilled in us important values which will prepare us for the years ahead. Thank you.
From our classroom window, we see the world. What each of us sees is uniquely different as our lives, our experiences, our beliefs, our hopes, and even our dreams. Our view from the window is ever-changing, as is the world and its expectations of our generation to face the challenges of the world situation. It has been rather comforting over the last 4 years, better yet, the last 13 years, to take on the world a piece at a time, having the security and understanding of our parents and teachers to pick us up when we fall down and send us out to try and try again. When I look back over the last 4 years and my own experience, I find it rather funny when I think about all the important decisions I had to make. Like, what should I wear to school? Should I go out or stay home and do my homework? Do I dare ask Dad to use the car? And real important ones like, where should I go? Pizza Hut, Round Table, or Smokies? Class, the party's not over. The decisions we face become a little more serious. Many new words will enter our vocabulary, such as careers, marriage, mortgage, military, and others that relate to adulthood. Are we ready for the added responsibilities? Of course we are. Let's not kid ourselves, class of 1991. Our 4 years here at Fort have been incredibly difficult at times. Not just our studies, but the hard lessons that we have learned about life. Class, we have pulled together and we have brought ourselves through. Although there are many things we do not understand, to have experienced those things has prepared us well to face the greater adversity we will encounter as adults. One especially hard lesson we learned just a few months ago. We learned, in the words of our classmate, that love is life, not necessarily our own fragile human existence. Although Kim is no longer with us, she had incredible influence upon our lives.
Kim, we love and miss you dearly and hope to understand why you had to leave. You taught us how to love. Mr. McLaughlin, we dearly miss you too. As seniors, we continue to look out our classroom window, and we are cautiously optimistic that our futures are bright. We see ourselves entering colleges and professions and becoming parents. Who knows, one of our classmates may find a cure for AIDS or become the first astronaut to Mars. Please don't underestimate our generation. We're ready to face the challenges of today. We have every reason to be optimistic. After all, our country has emerged, united, after an extremely tense war situation in the Persian Gulf. There are indications that the economy is rebounding and most Americans are returning to work. We have every right to be proud of our accomplishments over the past 4 years. Each one of us has contributed to each other's success in one way or another. Many friendships have been made, and although some will end soon for some different reasons, some may last a lifetime. We have also learned that our teachers are not the enemy, but are here as friends too when others couldn't or wouldn't understand. We thank our counselor, Mr. Curtin, for being there when we needed him, and others that were there for us during our troubled times. Well, class, hasn't our 4 years here been fantastic? I know my dad always says that he wishes he was back in high school. I wonder if I will ever say that. These 4 years here at Ford have been a really profound experience for me, one I'm sure I will never forget. Class of 1991, it's time to move away from the window and step out the door. The doors of opportunity are open. Let's go out and do it. Thank you.
Like the theme of our prom this year, Forever Young, seems like a dream to be young forever. And when we look back and see how our 4 years of high school have gone by in the blink of an eye compared to what lies before us, we realize that forever young is merely a state of mind, an attitude. Yes, we are growing up very quickly. What seems like yesterday, when we were in grade school, we face now responsibilities, overwhelming decisions, or the stress that many of us are feeling today. Instead of choosing a crayon color, we must now choose a career and a direction in life. We are approaching the doors to the real world. As each of us opens those doors, we need to have the confidence in ourselves and the determination to survive through both our successes and failures. When we get there, we take a chance, and the person who goes farthest is the one who is willing to do and dare. The sure thing boat never goes far from shore. We cannot discover new oceans unless we have the courage to lose sight of that shore we are comfortable with. We must never look at things as they are and ask why. We must dream things that never work and ask why not. Class of 1991, let's reach for the stars so we don't sell ourselves short. Let's make the sky the limit for our goals, so if we can't quite meet them, we will still have reached our full potential. And when we do achieve our goals, we will have the satisfaction of knowing that we have arrived at our dreams. The only time we will fail is if we waste who we are and the gifts we have been given and find ourselves saying, I could have. Fellow graduates, we are not going to be forever young, but we are young now. So let's leave here tonight with the idealism that we can be who we want and do whatever we desire. This is the attitude we need to adopt as we pass through the doors that we are now facing. Good luck, and thank you.
Tina Geis. Tina, please stand. Tina is our valedictorian. Tina has been recognized by the Washington Association of Secondary School Principals, the Washington State Honors Program, and the Presidential Academic Fitness Program for her academic successes. Tina is also a fantastic athlete. Tina has participated on the varsity volleyball, basketball, and softball teams. She has earned several letters, several athletic honors as a result of her tremendous hard work and ability. She was the Greater St. Helens Player of the Year in 1990 in volleyball. In basketball, she was a member of the Super 5 2 years in a row. league leading scorer 2 years in a row, Player of the Year in 1991. She was the second leading scorer in the state of Washington, first team All-League in basketball, second team All-State. She was selected for the first time ever, Washingtonian has been honored as such, selected by Smith's Home Furnishing and KATU TV as the Oregon and Southwest Washington High School Athlete of the Year. Tina is a recipient of 11 varsity awards while at Fort Vancouver High School. She has done all of this and still has been able to maintain a 3.94 GPA. She will be attending the University of Portland next year on an academic and athletic scholarship and will participate in the University of Portland's basketball program. Tina Geis. Heather King. Heather is our salutatorian. Heather has been recognized by the Washington State Honors Program, the Washington Association of Secondary School Principals, and the Presidential Academic Fitness Award Program for her academic successes. Heather has been president of the National Honor Society, a member of the band for 4 years, a member of the Key Club, French Club, Students Against Drunk Drivers, Thistledown, and Future Business Leaders of America. Heather has received the Outstanding National Honor Society Member Award, the Outstanding Music Student Award, the Outstanding Science Student Award, and the School Service Award. Heather has done all of this and has been able to maintain a 3.91 GPA for her 4 years at Fort Vancouver High School. Heather will be attending Clark College in the fall, and the compassionate person that she is will be majoring in nursing. Heather King. Nicole Hicks. Nicole Hicks is our senior class president. Nicole has been awarded the Washington State Honors Award, the Presidential Academic Fitness Award, and the Service Award. Nicole was a member of the swim team for 2 years, the golf team for 2 years, editor of the Thistledown, vice president of the National Honor Society, an active member of the Drama Club, Spanish Club, and Students Against Drunk Driving. She was also president of her freshman class. Nicole has maintained a 3.68 GPA. Nicole will be attending the University of Washington in the fall and plans to major in either journalism or public speaking. Nicole has been a fantastic senior class president. We're going to miss her, Nicole Hicks. I would like to give recognition at this time to a distinct group of students. These students comprise the top 5% of the graduating class. This top 5% is arrived at by computing their high school grade point averages up to and including the third quarter of their senior year. Seniors, as I read your name, please stand and remain standing. These students are listed alphabetically. Brandy Lee Dye. Tina Lee Geis. Ryan Goals. Naomi Gonzalez. Mickey Graff. Tracy Kelly. Heather King. Allison Milkey. Kenneth O. Edward Hideki. sorry. Edward Hideki Ono, I'm sorry. Sean Diane Sin. Jennifer Smith. Sisuvan Sambubong. Diana Spring. Danny Wan. Vincent Wong. These are the top 5% academically by grade point average for the graduating class of 1991. Let's give them a round of applause. Now I'd like to give recognition to the honor roll students, but because of the number of students comprising the honor roll, it would be inconsiderate to call each honor student's name individually. Instead, at this time, I would like to ask the entire group of honor roll students to stand and to remain standing while I make an explanation to our guests. So honor roll students, would you please stand? In the class of 1991, there are 65 students who comprise the honor roll. These students have acquired a grade point average of 3.3 or better during their 4 years at Fort Vancouver High School. You will note on your commencement program that these students have asterisks before their names and are wearing gold cords. You will also note that some of our honor students are wearing blue and gold cords, which indicates that they are members of the National Honor Society and are wearing its colors. They also are identified in your program. Let's give these students, our honor roll and National Honor Society members, a round of applause. Sylvia Gonzalez. Sylvia. Sylvia has visited us from the country of Spain. Dirk Ludwig. Dirk has visited us from the country of Germany.
I just want to thank everybody here it was a great year for me, and I enjoyed every single day, and everybody was really very, very nice, and I just want to thank you very much.
Junji Nakayama. Junji has visited us from the country of Japan. Goran Radovanovic. Goran. Goran has visited us from the country of Yugoslavia.
This year was a great experience for me. I found many friends in this school, especially among this class. I want to thank to everyone for help in making me this year so successful and wonderful. Thank you.
Our last exchange student, Akiko Sasaki from Japan. Akiko? Once again, on behalf of the staff at Fort Vancouver and the students at Fort Vancouver, and particularly the class of 1991, we thank you for sharing 1 year of your life with us, and we know we have grown from it. We hope you have too. Thank you. First off, how many of you will be attending a four-year college or university in the state of Washington next year? Please stand. Please stand. How many of you will be attending a college or university outside of the state of Washington? Please stand. How many of you will be attending a community college next year? How many of you have plans on attending a vocational or technical school next year? How many of you will be joining the armed services? How many of you will be entering the world of work? Please stand. Here's a little curveball. How many of you were a member of the 1991 State AAA Softball Championship team this past year? Please stand. How many of you attended Vancouver schools for kindergarten through the 12th grade? Please stand. How many of you have attended Fort Vancouver High School for 4 years? Please stand. And every year this number grows. How many of you have a parent who attended Fort Vancouver High School? Please stand. Before grandparents. How many of you have had grandparents attend Fort Vancouver High School? Please. Some of them may not be sure. Before we award diplomas this evening, I would like to tell the class of 1991 that you are a special group. I would personally like to thank you for your cooperation, for your caring attitudes, and for your contributions to Fort Vancouver High School. When you entered these doors 4 years ago, it was difficult for you to imagine what was ahead for you. You worked, and you tried to be the best that you could be. You've labored for knowledge and opened your mind to new ideas. You set many goals for yourself, and I would venture to say that some of you may have accomplished your goals, and some of you may not have. This is the excitement of life. We can never give up hope, we can never quit setting goals, and we can never quit trying. One goal that you have achieved is a high school diploma. You should feel proud, excited, and filled with other great feelings this evening. But realize that this evening is not an ending, but a transition to a new phase of your life. It's a step that leads to a new and different world, new and different pathways. There's a great deal of love and fondness for you and for what you have done. And there is anticipation and joy for what is yet to come. I sincerely wish you all the best of everything. I hope your lives are filled with challenges, for without challenges, you can't grow. I hope your hearts are filled with inner peace, so that you can make choices that are fulfilling and satisfying. And finally, above all, I hope your lives are filled with love. Love for yourselves and for your fellow men. For without love, we have nothing. Will the audience please join me in wishing the best of everything to the graduates of 1991.